Okay, so you look at the Rams. You've been high on the Rams all season.
Very
you
high.
love Matt Stafford. Who could blame you? The guy's awesome. Just had an off night tonight, but you lose to the Seahawks last week. You lose to the Falcons when you really wanted that win. Can you really trust this team in the postseason?
Yeah, I still do. Tonight was a very tough night. It's a tough loss because I think it'll have a lot of implications, again, that 5-6 seed. And I look at this thing, and this goes to show you how one guy that maybe is not a star or household name affects your entire team. And tonight it was the left tackle. You know, they usually have Alder Jackson playing there, but instead it was DJ Humphries. You sit here and you go, okay, look at this. It's a great job, but we're in legal formation on our left tackle. He's lining up in the backfield. And then later on, that's how you start the third quarter, blatant sack. It's all right, we're only down 7, 1st and 10, touchdown pass, you see the flag again. And what happens? It's a tough night for him, but our left tackle, who's playing backup, ends up committing another foul. Why I say yes, though, Jay, is because of plays like this. This was a 4th down.
Wow.
It's no look. He hits Smith in stride. You're down points at that point. Matthew Stafford says no problem. Again, game's on the line. Potentially at that point, you know, even though it was early in the third quarter, you're down 21 points. You need this 4th down conversion, and he's got enough moxie to throw it no look. You got to think they're going to get Jackson back at left tackle, which will shore up those issues. Davante Adams will be back, whether it's next week or in the playoffs. That's a massive bump here. I don't think Matthew Stafford will have a lot more performances like that. You'll love to see the play Jared Verse made. I'm sorry, it's a bad night. It's a bad loss. No excuses.
Yeah.
But this team is nasty. This team is still very, very good.
And despite the 3 picks for Stafford, you know, he wills the team back. They almost win it. But did he actually hurt his chances to win MVP? We got Drake May throwing for 300 yards every week.
And you just said it. I think he did. You know, I've been pumping the Matthew Stafford MVP. I think it's going to be very, very close now. Such a drastic difference between the two of them. Now, we look at some of these picks here. This one he airmailed. You know, it is what it is. And it's a bad throw. But I got to tip my cap to Watts on these next 2 years. So if you watch this, Jay, okay, again, here's your airmail. It's a bad play. But this is the one where look who is covering the receiver here. It's a linebacker. That's the matchup you want. But Watts kind of baits him over there. And again, it's man coverage here. Watts just abandons his man. So if Matthew holds on to this for a split second longer, you see 19 there, wide open. Watts basically would have prepped this in film and said to him, okay, I think I can trick Stafford in and just abandon my coverage, which is not, very common. So tip your cap to him. He's made some great plays there, pretty risky. I now look at this and I say, okay, total TDs, pretty close with the 3 interceptions. It's now the same. The question is the rush yards. You know, obviously Matthew has more pass yards. How much do you include rushing, scrambling, etc.? I thought it was kind of a shoo-in for Matthew, thinking today he'd have an easy win.
It felt like if you're a football writer, you're probably giving. He's never won MVP.
Yes.
He's never won it.
In the season they've had, the story they've had, the season Puka's had.
And you're sort of like Drake May. You'll probably win one down the road.
Totally.
You're not going to. But now it's making it tricky now.
And what gets tough is there's so many different ways to look at these awards where it's like, well, Drake May doesn't have the same weapons Matthew has. And, then the flip side is, well, Matthew makes his weapons a lot better than they've been. I look at Davante Adams. He hasn't been a star since really the Green Bay days, and he was this year, so you can make that argument. Now you also go into the fact that the Rams, are not going to win the division, where obviously the Patriots have.
Yep.
But then the flip side to that argument is the division that Matthew's playing in is the best division in football. So the writers have a very tough decision. I think going into tonight, if Matthew had 2 touchdowns in just an average game, no picks, Matthew's got it. But now this thing's very, very close.
Well, and further to your point, the Rams just needed to win these last 2 games. They could lock in that 5th seed. You talked about it earlier. They get a chance to either play Tampa or Carolina, a way more favorable matchup. Now it's possible they drop to 6 and have to travel to Philly or Chicago in the middle of the winter. This is a devastating loss when you really put it that way on Monday night.
Devastating. And you said it, going to Soldier Field, especially the way Caleb Williams has kind of progressed throughout this year and what they've been able to do. Not a matchup that you really want if you could have played the Bucs, who have been brutal, or the Panthers, that are a very incomplete team, I'll call them. And then you also mentioned Philly. As much as Philly's offense has struggled this year, that defense is humming, and it's fun to watch. Both of those are tough places to play in, extremely cold weather games. I can't stress enough how letting this game slip with the interceptions, with just simply not playing well, could really, really cost the Rams on what we thought a couple weeks ago was a very easy road to the Super Bowl.
Just didn't seem like they were ready to play. Didn't seem like they were ready to come out and play this football game.
And that scares me a bit.
Yeah.
It's a veteran team. You got a veteran coach who's been there, done that. You got a veteran quarterback. You had a tough loss last week. This was a get-right rebound week. And now you're taking that long trip from Atlanta to L.A., feeling pretty stupid on the way home.
Let's check out what's happening this weekend on the network. Luke, we've got a terrific slate of games for you on the network here. Panthers, Bucks. Again, not for the division title.
Yeah.
Seahawks, Niners is
the 1 seed.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
And the NFC's 1 seed, and then Ravens, Steelers for the AFC North title. And don't forget, our show will follow the Saturday night game.
I'm fired up.
I know. You're going to be here with me, right next to me. Seahawks, Niners, right after the game, you'll be here. And then Sunday, right after Ravens, Steelers, you'll be here as well.
I'll tell you this, I'm excited for the NFC West showdown, but something tickles me about this Sunday nighter. Aaron Rodgers, potentially Lamar, we'll see if he's healthy. Ravens, Steelers, it's going to be cold, it's going to be nasty. I'm really fired up for that game. I really am.
I can't wait for it. It's all this weekend and only on TSN.